Hello, my name is Yahira Lobos, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today. Today's date is December 19th, 2023, and I welcome you all with the love and the light of our Kachinas. This is Mother Kachina, grandmother, enforcer, brown face, eagle dancer, blue star, owl warrior, father, sun god, snake transformer, owl warrior. We want to give thanks to all of our benefic guides, your guides, and all of our ancestors. We want to give thanks to the north, the east, the west, south, above, below, and within. We call in all of our benefic guides of each direction to come and be with us today. We love you. We thank you. We honor you. We respect you. Today, we will be speaking about what is an oracle. How do you know you are speaking with a gifted, experienced oracle? What are the reasons others are seeking out an oracle? And how can you receive the best reading possible? And how can you yourself work on your connection with Creator? This isn't about religion. This is about being spiritual. This is about spirituality. This is about us being spiritual in our physical body, having a physical experience. And how do we co create the life that we desire? And Great Creator had asked me years ago to be a reader. It took me 10 years to really develop that innate knowing that I have a gift. I was really shy and I avoided becoming a professional based on the trauma that I had growing up. And so I don't place the blame on anybody except for knowing that I was born gifted, knowing, speaking with Creator. I am a child of God, as all of you are, and we are all divine, sacred, sentient beings. There are some of us that are here on earth that have been here thousands of times before, hundreds of times before, for we are eternal. There is no such thing as death, and as an oracle, as a messenger of great Creator, of the divine, I, Yahira Lobos, am here to bring that message to the people. I was born in Suffern, New York, and I was born backwards. I had two broken ribs, and that was an indication and a reminder of the tragedy of all of us being born broken, that there was something imperfect about who we were. And from the moment of being conceived to being birthed on earth, we've been growing up as young babies to children to young adults to aging as an elder. And in our lifetime, it is a profound journey to be connected to the divine higher self that is part of that voice within you that is constantly either criticizing you, judging you or others, or giving you advice or suggestions or demands on where to go. And this is what I would call your higher self. We all have a higher self. You're not born without a connection to your higher self. Your higher self is that aspect of you that is spiritual, that can guide us through this world and navigate the uncharted territories that lie ahead. Our higher self is that innate knowing where there may be danger or joy just up ahead. We sometimes often hear that voice in the back of our head that will tell us to not take a particular highway, to only find out had you driven down that road, you may have ended up in that 10-car pileup. And so many of my friends during 9/11, for instance, told me remarkable stories about how some of them were asked to stay at home. They weren't feeling good. It wasn't a good day to go to work. Some people were late, avoiding the whole tragedy of what happened at 9/11. There were many cases where a mother and a child are so innately connected, right? Where a mother knows of the dangers, or again, the beauty that lies ahead for her children, her husband, her family. A woman and a man has the same ability to connect to thy higher self. And like I said, we all have a higher self. This isn't a gift for just a few people. It's in this lifetime. Here we are at 2023. We're ending the year and we're going forward. And next year is going to be a really big year about really delving into spirituality and religion and asking the bigger questions of how can we bring peace here on earth. And so being connected to your higher self is not only really great for your personal longevity and wealth and success, because being connected to your higher self will give you the signs and the indications, the heads up, the red flags of where to go and what not, where not to go, what to do, what not to do, who to hang out with, who not to hang out with. It's being connected to that inner voice that also will be developing some of us to have careers in helping others get connected to their higher self. And as we're all right now in 2023 being proposed with the bigger question, is there a God? And who is God? And what religion is of truth? And what is written in the books, not just the Bible, the Christian book of sacred law and stories of Jesus and the apostles and the angels, but also the Muslims and the Hindus and the Jewish. Everybody has their own book that we call our Bible. And in every single book, there are things that are written for us to grow and to know how to be the best human being possible, how to create our dreams come true, and how to really connect to our heart, our mind, and our soul, how to express our feelings in a loving, gentle way, how to have compassion, how to deal with trauma, how to deal with being hurt, how to forgive yourself. The books that are written in each culture are written to assist man and woman and child to becoming the best version of their most sacred being. This life is such a gift, and we often, because of the trauma that we were born into, many of us, a lot of people were born in trauma, not having loving parents, having uh, dynamics and unhealthy patterns and trauma being passed down from generation to generation. It is really important to have something that brings us back to the sacredness of this life, to this breath of life, and also to the heart of who we are. And let's not forget the biggest reason why we would want to really be connected is to develop our true sense of why we came here. What's our true life purpose? And that is the glory of who I am and why I'm here. When I was born in 1971, I was born into this world, like I said, broken and backwards. And I was born in the city of Suffern, New York. And it was really profound for me growing up in upstate New York, of Italian father and a Mexican descendant of my mother, and those two different cultures coming together. I had three other siblings, and we were raised in upstate New York, right outside of New York City. And the first half of my life was really about suffering and about learning what didn't feel good and seeing the separation, feeling the pain, being broken, watching my mother die of leukemia and watching my family get ripped apart, my father being an alcoholic. And there was a lot of stress and anxiety. And my siblings and I suffered tremendously. So for me, from 1971 to 1981, when my mother died, it was painful. The next 10 years for me, from 1981 to 1991, it got way more severe as I was becoming a teenager. But in those years, I always was a woman of prayer. My mother taught me. I keep looking up. It's almost like I'm looking at her as I speak. For those of you who desire to know, my mother, her name was Josephine Francis. I have her middle name, DeGiorgio. And she really, when she left, kind of left a family that really surrounded her. She was a beautiful woman. She was a woman of prayer and of the heart. So you can imagine for myself, I grew up without having that motherly love. For the next 10 years, I would find that love in nature and with God. And for the next 30 years, I really did suffer addiction and abuse and domestic abuse. I made really bad choices that caused me to suffer a tremendous amount. I've been arrested 8 times. I've been pregnant 6 times with no children. I've been through 7 near life death experiences. And I suffered many times being ostracized for speaking the truth in many systems and organizations and jobs, schools, family events that took place. I was the voice that would basically end the corruption by confronting those that were causing harm to the innocent. My point in sharing all of that was that I knew I was connected to source, but I didn't really know how or why, or if it was a gift or if it was really helping me. Not until I was 23 did I have a dream of being given and gifted a tarot deck from my dream time. My guardian angel met me in my dream time, and she so diligently handed me a tarot deck in a beautiful garden filled with peace, love, and light, flowers all around. And she said, "Here, take these. They will help you and your friends in the future." Hi, baby. And that's how I became an oracle. It wasn't until 15 years later, on my 40th birthday, more than that, 23, 33. Oh my God. 17 years later, I was introduced to bring in my tarot cards to a private party for a childhood friend. And she wanted me to read the tarot. She knew I was gifted, and she gave me a gift by gifting her entire party a tarot reading. And they each paid me, I believe, like $20 a person. And it was profound. Each person really loved my reading. They cried, they had messages, there was a release. And so, part of what I wanted to share about what is a real oracle, it is somebody who is connected to great creator, to the divine, not only within their own religion, but to be able to know that each one of us on earth has a different culture, a different religion. And so those of us that are connected truly to source are not per se religious, but we're very spiritual. And we also will take into consideration the other person's feelings and listen to what it is that they're sharing energetically. Many of us who've been through big tragedies like the ones I just mentioned, and if we can get through on the other side, there is the hero's journey that we can get through. And in that, we receive a healing and an ability to actually connect more divinely to the source, God, creator. And in that, we can bring about healing just by listening to other people and sharing the experiences or what we've learned in our lifetime that brought us healing. An oracle isn't just somebody who says, wow, that looks like an easy, great way to make a living. I think I can do that. Let me try. It's so many that you see now on Instagram and TikTok that are making a living over the night just like that. it became a hot commodity, a new trend to be an oracle. But to truly be an oracle means you are a woman or a man of prayer, that you really do care about the environment, about sacred law. Sacred law is universal law, is natural law. It's the laws in which we abide by to create unity, harmony, and healing. The 7 sacred laws that I follow are trust, compassion, respect. It is honesty, it is truth, and it is compassion. Wisdom is the 7th one. And these are the sacred laws that we are following. An example of following a sacred law that I just named would be respect. And so in this lifetime, we wouldn't say anything to disrespect another human being, their culture, or their ways. We would always listen to where a person is coming from and ask the bigger question to help people use their discernment to know what is best for them. We do not decide for other people how to live their best life, and we certainly do not tell people what to do. That is not a job of an oracle. It's our gift to be able to ask others really profound questions that would allow you to get directly into your sacred heart and really know how to answer these questions that would assist you in developing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, or healing or creating something with the divine. So the oracles that are really gifted are the ones that have been born. It is in the DNA of the family members. It does get passed down. There are many that will speak to you about how their family lineage has these beings that are gifted in cooking or art or music or math. Some of us are gifted in families of oracles or healers, seekers, seers. Those of us who know, there are many different ways in which we are oracles. There is the clairaudient, which are the beings that can hear voices that come from another dimension. What's really important about the oracles and those that are considered to be source connected are the ones that know we are eternal. There is no such thing as death. So we are multidimensional beings and we know this. What other things can I share here that are really profound? One of the things that an oracle will never do, like I said, is tell you exacts. There are psychics that people will attend to and ask the psychics, is somebody cheating on me? Or am I going to be rich? Am I going to become famous? Am I going to have children? Am I going to get married? And to ask another human soul about who you are or what you are going to do is very limiting on your own divine self. Because if that individual is not a true healer or seeker or seer or healer or oracle, their own trauma could prevent them from knowing your truth. Their own inability to be connected to the divine could steer you or lead you wrong. So, in order to really know about whether you are receiving an accurate reading or not, is to really pay attention to the vibrations and the energy that you're feeling during the reading. I highly suggest that if you don't really know who the reader is and you're taking a chance on paying somebody a lot of money for a reading, I definitely suggest you yourself using your micro recorder on your computer or your phone, or those little micro recorders that you could buy in Walmart, and record the session for your own ability to know in the future, if there was something that somebody said that really struck you as inauthentic or harmful, you really need to dive in deeper and make sure that you don't believe what somebody else is telling you that can hurt you. You also have a right to be able to confront anybody who's given you a read-in by going back to them after your read-in and asking them what they meant by what they said. Because a lot of times we can assume, and it's one of the four agreements with Don Miguel Ruiz. He wrote a book called The Four Agreements. One of those agreements in life is do not assume. So let's not assume that we know the answer to that. Let's ask, right? Let's ask for clarity, and let's ask to know the truth. Let's ask people what they really meant by certain words, because certain words can have several meanings. There might have been a tone that you think you heard or felt. And if you listen to your recording again with an unbiased heart, you can then listen for what was authentic in that reading. Sometimes I've had read-ins from people who've said things that were really destabilizing, mean spirited, awful. And if I listened to what they would say, they would have cursed me if I allowed myself to believe what they were saying. Thank God, yes, I am an oracle. And I always knew when one of my own clairsentient, is a knowing, which I have, which is my way of being an oracle. That's just an innate knowing. Now, anybody who has trauma, that knowing could be clouded. So it's really important for all of the oracles to purge mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and also get through the hero's journey to be a great oracle. A lot of people say, well, the greatest way to become a healer or a teacher of any sort is to just start helping. That is true. But when it comes to being an oracle, you really need to learn how to set up your field of energy, how to come into a ritual of prayer. To be a woman and a man of prayer is something that you would do every day without anybody telling you to do it. It's your lifestyle. You are a woman of prayer, a man of prayer. You are in constant ritual and ceremony. Here I have my kachinas, and an altar is created. I always have an altar created in sacred space when I do a reading. Many of these TikTok Instagrammers are just going from one reading to the next. And what makes that so dangerous and unhealthy is that if you don't clear your energy field from every single person that is your client, you will enmesh all of the energies of all of the beings and yourself. What a mess. And there could be a tremendous breakdown after taking on that much energy in the spiritual realm. See, the oracles have the ability to connect to the divine. And since we're all made up of energy, right, and stardust, we have the ability to co create with the divine. We have the ability to dive deeper and deeper and deeper into our psyche, into our heart, into our soul, to develop more of who we are. Being an oracle is a journey, and one would go on their own journey, as I have. Like I said, when I found out I was an oracle, it took me many years before I ever read for people publicly. 17 years. And then within the next year, I found myself as a professional in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I would read at the artist fair that they would have every Saturday. And then I started to do the transformational music and art festivals, and I became a volunteer. And so it was more important for me to be a volunteer and a messenger than it was to make money. The reason why for me is very much alike a lot of others. Many of us became volunteers in 2012. It was a clarion call. where many of us got sober and we started to get on the hero's journey. The hero's journey is the journey where we decide we want to heal from our childhood trauma. Those of us that may have been molested or raped or beat, or a lot of family dysfunction, or being ostracized, near life death experiences, being bullied. These are some of the examples of what childhood trauma could look like. And so for many of us that were oracles or teachers or healers in 2012, many of us had to go down that road and start to become from some starting point. And many of us had to learn through trial and error of what worked in becoming an oracle and doing readings, the style in which we gave our readings, how much money we charged or how much money we didn't charge. And for people like myself, I got really burnt out from just giving to everybody and not really receiving. And this is a lot of energy. And for the women and men that are of prayer, that are truly connected to source, we're in the quantum field as multidimensional beings. And for those of us that are the real deal, we're given the messages and it's up to you to do the work. We're not taking on your workload, but it is a lot of energy to clear and to shield yourself from the energy that could come out during a reading when you're given the messages. Some people are not always happy about what you have to say. Again, that could be a sign of a really good oracle that might trigger you. The really fake ones are just going to tell you positive things that could be cliche and sound like everybody. The over the night TikTokers and Instagrammers got hit really hard, as we knew they would in 2020. Many of us true seers and oracles haven't really been out on YouTube. I started 3 years ago, and I think I've only, have X amount of videos out there because every time I went out and spoke, it was like I had to go back home and really uh, shapeshift my own life and clear a lot of energy. And if anybody didn't like what I said, I could get really hit with energy that then I would have to clear. And sometimes I was getting really triggered in 2020. When I started on YouTube, I was getting really triggered. That's because I needed to heal more. In order to be a great oracle, you really need to have great stability, a great foundation, be really balanced, and be very confident. Not overconfident, but just confident in your own way of being and communing with the divine. And for myself, I call myself a source connected oracle, meaning that from birth, both of my family members, my mother and father, they were Catholic. I was baptized and I had my Holy Communion, my confirmation. I went to 8 years of Catholic school. By the time I was 18, I gave up my Catholic religion. There was so much shame and blame and guilt in that Catholic religion. I became somewhat of a rainbow spiritualist where I love all cultures and religions. And I now build rainbow star circles, which are like medicine wheels. And I bring in prayer circles to honor the north, east, west, south, above, below, within. And as I call in the directions, I'm calling in all of our benefic guides and ancestors to come and be with us. I acknowledge all life is sacred. I acknowledge Pachamama, the Divine Father. I acknowledge all of our ancestors, those that have walked before us for the 7 generations, those that are here now in the 7 generations, those that will come in the future in the next 7 generations. And I love to be a woman of prayer because I believe that our words are power. And as I pray, we are transmuting, transcending all darkness back to light. We're asking for healing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually for all beings. And these rainbow star circles acknowledge that we can each have a voice, and we go around the sacred circle and we allow everybody to have a voice, everybody to share a prayer, and everybody to sing and dance. And what this is a way of showing people how we all are connected, how we all can connect. And yes, like anything else, like riding a bicycle, You would have to jump on and practice before you got really good and was able to take off your training wheels. And part of that, your training wheels, would be literally having a practice. Now, how many people are in their younger years doing oracle readings? How effective are they? How many people are going back to them? How many lives are they changing? Are they just given instant gratification? Because right now, the masses are all about instant gratification. But you see, we are in a paradigm change. And part of the reason why I'm giving this actual video out live is because I want people to know what's an authentic oracle. Why would one seek one out? How do you know what is a real oracle? And what do you need to do to become an oracle? And is it truly gifted with only in the DNA, or can all of us become? And the answer to that is I believe we all can become. Look, if you were really young and you decided you wanted to help other people by becoming a life coach, in a very large way, you'll be tapping into the source of all that there is. As an artist, you tap in and channel the energy, the colors in through the way that you draw. And a musician is literally in an orchestra tapping into the hearts and souls of the whole choir and able to facilitate and correlate beautiful music. To me, that's channeling. Those that come in with the greatest ideas and inventions, some of the greatest teachers and storytellers, builders, architects, are literally channeling in the essence of source creation. And that is a masculine energy. And also, if you are connected to Mother Earth, you're bringing in that feminine Akashic records from the earth. And so I feel divinely connected to the earth. I spent most of my life not wearing shoes, like everywhere. I was told when I was 23 to take my shoes off and to feel Mother Earth, to be connected to her, to be grounded, to receive the essence and the minerals of the earth, the dirt, the rocks, to sit upon the trees. Most of my life has given me way more wisdom than any book could ever. And again, these are about practices. You know, there are things that are happening in these last 3 years that, although I knew that I'm a woman of knowing, my psyche, my psychic abilities, my ability to be telepathic, to read other people's thoughts, to be able to have full on visions and receive downloads that would allow me to write out these ideas that are just, they're not just mine. So they come from the collective consciousness that's out there. It's the energy, the web of life. And we're all interconnected. We're all part of the one. Even though some of us may have more years of experience than others, we're all here to actually learn from one another no matter what, especially the people that are coming in that are brand new souls. How exciting to know what they can bring to us, right? Um, People from other dimensions, other planets, we're not alone. And that's another part of this whole reading, is knowing that we are not alone, that we do have a connection to the saints, the angels, the Elohims, and the archangels, the galactics, the Fae, our power animals, and our ancestors. We have an ability, with practice, with intention, to develop our ability to commune with our own higher self and all of creation. And as we develop our skills and our practices, I believe that the profession of oracles will not be here in about 100 to 200 years. Why? Because everybody will be divinely connected. And so I believe that why I'm coming here right now on this earth as Yahira Lobos, a name given to me when I was on the road. Yahira, meaning to enlighten, came from the Pleiades, which is another race that is from the star systems. It was the original galactic race that I believe many of the star beings were born from. The Pleiadians are known as the blonde hair, blue eyed, but they are also known as the master teachers. I have a divine connection with Pleiades. My wolf, Aquila Star, I believe, came from Pleiades. And I work with my star families that are above. And I know that we are working on developing our ability to be so much more than we ever were. And if you can just witness what we've already witnessed since 2020 with AI, with TikTok and Instagram, with all of these social media platforms, with the way that we've been connecting and revamping the way that we desire to do business, the way that we desire to come together, we're all questioning what we put in our body, who we're listening to. We're going down that rabbit hole as one of the biggest questions since 2020 is, yo, are we all in a matrix where we've been brainwashed and programmed by who, what, where, what the fuck is going on, right? And in order for us to dissolve the old systems of the patriarchal systems that no longer serve us, that is the economic system, the banking system, that is the medical system, how they're actually delivering the medical information to us, the medicine. Is it even real? Is it authentic? Why do we have the system in play the way it is with vaccines and the policies? The whole red tape about the medical field needs to get shut the fuck down and rebuilt the fuck up. And the school system has failed all of the children that I know in North America. And so many of my wise hippie friends are literally no longer allowing their children to go to public school. Thank freaking God. To all of you who have to send your children to public school because that is all that you have right now, I understand. And nobody is judging you. But what we want you to know, if you're a parent, if you're just sending your children to public school, they are not receiving social emotional education. They are not learning what their feelings are, how to deal with them, how to express them, and how to come into conflict resolution. Many of our children, if they come from a single parent and you are a single parent, then you already know your child is shortchanged a hell of a lot. And the trauma that's already there in their life is actual. You can't deny that if you're a parent and your child doesn't have a mother or father, how fucking hurtful is that for them? Not that it's on you, but you understand what I'm saying. And so if you are a single parent, we are responsible to know that we are only working with half a system minus a parent. And we must make up for that by hiring the correct people that will teach our children the things that we ought to know. We've been programmed and brainwashed and dumbed down to continue to eat all the GMOs and the sugar, drinking the caffeine, smoking the cigarettes, doing the drugs, anything to shop and disconnect from what is real. We got to teach our children better. And the only way our children are going to learn better is if they're loved. And the only children that are going to be loved in this world are the children that are close to God, to Creator, to creation, to earth. Because there you have compassion and you know that we're eternal. And you know that your life, my life, our life, everyone's life matters. No matter if you like them or not, every being on the planet is a child of God. And to all of those that want to literally learn more about becoming an oracle or a messenger, for those of you that don't want to do that but would like to become a counselor, a therapist, a life coach, there's even schools out there where you could become a certified healer. And I suggest everybody learn from a master teacher, healer, oracle. If that's what you're going for, do not do these over the night people who are becoming a success because they know how to market. There are many people that I know who steal people's ideas because they're marketers, and they go into a business having no business going into that business because that ain't their motherfucking business. You know what I'm saying? But they know how to market and they know how to use AI. And so they'll lie to you and every human soul saying that they have something which is a solution for your misery, your suffering. Those people are going to have tremendous karma, for they are breaking sacred law. Because while you're wasting everybody's time and money and energy making up answers about what you think will help them when you don't fucking know, woo, you're in trouble. If you're given what you think are solutions with no heart or soul to the messages that you deliver, girl, boy, you better learn. That ain't gonna go so well. And the reason why I get a little sassy in my New York way with my ego and present that to you is because it's powerful. It'll trigger anybody who's really not an oracle or a teacher or a healer. And that's why I use my ego or my personality to deliver. A true oracle will know a moment that we can deliver in that way. It took me many years to really hone in on my own gift. I would say a decade, because in my time from 2012 to now, it's been the hero's journey for me on a personal level, healing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and also having to get to know thyself, right? And another thing that really helped me these last 10 years was doing Qigong, meditation, yoga, um, delving into other people's practices, cultures, and religions, just, exploring and making sure that all that I chose was something that I love and I desire, and something that I can develop into a living. What I found when I was traveling around the United States is I adored going to these festivals that were transformational, because I can go to a workshop for an hour or two and really learn something that I never knew before, or to be activated, or to receive a download from another teacher during a sound activation, or to be able to sit in the sweat lodge and to be able to hear the prayers of our indigenous brothers and sisters, and then also all around the globe. I've been so lucky to be able to sit in the ashrams of the Hindu, to sit in and listen to my Jewish brothers and sisters, and to attend some of their traditions. I've been so blessed to be able to listen to the Celtics and the Muslims and our African American brothers and sisters, even listening to the difference of ways of prayer from Mexico to Spain. It's all so interesting. It's profound to know that one religion isn't the be all end all. And I believe that the times that we're going into is going to allow each human being to be able to truly share and be who they are without being murdered or killed. Oracles from the beginning of time came from places like Delhi and Egypt, India. And in these places, Greece, Italy, in these places, there would be often someone who was considered to be the seer. And this got passed down from time to time from in families. And like I said, the teachers and the shamans and the medicine men and women, being a curandera is also being passed down from heritage to heritage. But what Great Creator is showing me in this lifetime is that we can all be whatever we choose to be. Each one of these ways of life is a path, and a path that shall be taken seriously with much devotion to practice, to learning, and know that if you're actually choosing to be a medicine man, woman, healer, teacher, or a spiritual oracle of any sort, you have a spiritual responsibility to tell the truth, to be transparent, to have integrity, and to do your own shadow work, soul work, every single day. We're not looking for people who love to drink and do drugs as our oracles. And we're not looking to the people that love to be promiscuous, because there's so much energy that comes into your body through another human being when we have sexual intercourse with them. We're asking all of humanity to really take their bodies much more seriously and love them as sacred temples of God. And we're asking that you really pay attention to the energy that you allow to come into your body, mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually. We are responsible for what we're choosing in every moment. And how we got away from allowing ourselves to be responsible is what I'm talking about when I say that we got brainwashed and we're in a matrix that was programming us to be dumbed down. It is our responsibility in every moment to choose. And if you don't have a higher self that's connecting to you on a daily, then how are you going through life from point A to point B? How do you make your decisions? Who are you listening to? What are you following? There are many people who say they don't believe in God. Those are atheists. But atheists necessarily are not evil people that are disconnected from source. In fact, I think they are very connected to source. They just don't believe in a religion. And that's what I know. That we are discovering that it doesn't really matter what religion or what practice you want to decide to believe in. I believe we have freedom of choice, free will. And I believe that if it doesn't cause harm to any, then go for it. Share the knowledge and wisdom and teach and be whatever you choose to be, as long as it doesn't cause harm. And again, I just want to reintegrate that being an oracle is a very huge responsibility to yourself, to your family, to your children, to the earth, and to Great Creator. It's not a profession where you can make a ton of money and not be personally responsible for what and how you spend that money. So nobody's telling you where to and how to spend your money. What I'm saying is you have a responsibility in keeping it pure. I know. In this lifetime, a lot of people want to break the sacred law, have their cake and eat it too, but we can't. We have to choose. We all have a good wolf and a bad wolf, and we have to choose what wolf we're going to feed at the end of the day. And sure, there are some days that I feed my own bad wolf, bad thoughts, bad ideas. I could say harmful things to myself, to others. There are days that we're off, that we're bad, that we're not good. We should just take a day off, right? And that is the truth. We're human. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. There's a whole group of people out there. I'm remembering my days of being a waitress at Olive Garden in 2010, where I would share with people that I was attuned to hearing the voice of God. And I think I might have said things like, oh, yeah, I'm psychic, not knowing that by saying the words, I'm psychic, could be really triggering. Oh, yeah, you're a psychic. Well, then how much is my bill going to be? How much money do I have? Blah, 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 blah. And they ask all these smart ass questions. That was back in my heyday where I really didn't know how to handle it. Today, when people ask these well, they don't really ask them anymore. It's very rare, but there will be times that I'm speaking to a very attuned spiritual being, and it could be often that their significant other isn't really connected, and they might hear me speaking. And I've had a lot of men and women attack me based on them overhearing my conversation with a really connected person, and they get sassy. But I definitely know how to handle that sass, because it's really about connecting to the energy of that sass, right? And only somebody who's had a lot of experience in being dealt the sass and then being sassy herself can actually handle another mofo sass, you know, another sassy mofo, right? The only person who can handle one is one. So, with that being said, I just want you guys to know that there are days that an oracle can have that are off. It depends on how they're living their best life. So it is up to you to ask them a question about how are they doing? What's going on in their life? Are they too busy? How are they feeling? Did they have time to, release and clear and reset their field of energy? Do they feel good right now to give a reading? I've asked these questions to readers and literally picked up on the fact that they weren't okay and was able to reschedule a reading. And they were so grateful. And so was I. And the day that I had to reschedule, I would go and attend, and they were great. But, as an oracle, I know when somebody's energy is off, or when they're really not ready, or they're too rushed or hurried. And if you have somebody doing 8 readings in a day, even 5, that's a lot of energy to enmesh. Like, what are you doing between those readings? Like, I hope you have a rocky, way of clearing your energy field and not just going one into the next, into the next, into the next. And what Great Creator is telling me is that however we choose to spend our money at the end of the day is our God-given choice, freedom of will. But I do believe that if you're in a profession of helping others, we might want to give a leg up at the end of the year, at the end of every month, however you choose to pay it forward, to give out scholarships, to give free readings out, to be an earth activist or a humanitarian, to be able to pay it forward. If you're making an incredible amount of money, in any profession, I hope that you do what I just said, because actually that to me is sacred law for the whole planet right now. If you're making a lot of money, you better be giving back, boo. Okay? And not have to rely on, money as being the be all end all. What our drive should be here is really loving what we do. A true oracle that is gifted, that loves what she does, he does. Wow. And, right now I am in my mastery of oracle reading. I just graduated, or I am in the process of graduating, but I can tell you, I just got to get the free readings out there. So how about here right now? I need to give away 15 20-minute oracle readings to get certified through the Akashic Records. I studied with master teacher Amy Robeson. And if you would email her after my reading with a testimony of how I delivered your reading, how good was it, authentic, was I on point, give good feedback, I will give you a free 20-minute reading. I know who I am, and 20 minutes is really quick and short. So I want to offer you a 30-minute reading, really, truly authentic 30-minute reading of going into your Akashic Records. I was taught after 30 years of being a source connected, 40, my whole life, 52 years I remember talking to God at the age of 4, praying to Jesus at 5, and then my life, So after all of these years, 45 years, right, 47 years of reading, talking to God, I went to school this year, and I just got to give away 15 of these 20, 30-minute oracle readings. And as soon as you give the testimony to her, I know I'll be graduated and I'll be certified. But it really helped me get this practice down that I'm speaking to you of. Really taught me how to set up my field of energy, fill my body up with light, how to clear my body mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, how to hold space, how to create space. A lot of this I knew already, but what Amy helped me do is put it all together and to create a lifestyle that was part of my daily routine. And I'm just so excited because the next course I'm going to be taking with her is how to build a business being an oracle. And still to this day, I've given out thousands of readings for free. And if you're watching this video this long and you're one of the people that I've given a free reading to that has changed your life and helped you develop a business that you have now, there are many people that I've spoken to, and I was able to help them discover their gift and their talent. And I'm really gifted with knowing people and having resources and a toolkit that I can share with you. That is a game changer. You'll never be the same after getting a reading with me, whether I read the tarot or the oracle cards. And because I use the Sacred Earth Oracle as my thumbnail for the picture of this video, I'm just going to go ahead in this last 4 minutes and really just pull a few cards for the Conscious Collective. And let's exercise the oracle readings that I give through the oracle cards. Akashic Records is opening up your Akashic Records, which is the library of who you are in all your lifetimes. It has all of the knowledge of who you are. And I go into a guided space, meditation, and prayer to connect with your master teachers and loved ones. And the Akashic Records will bring forth the information that is needed right now. And so I invite those of you that would like to sample my Akashic Record readings for a testimony to PM me here. Find me on Facebook. My name is Francine DeGiorgio. I'll put it in the chat right now. And then I am at a sliding scale of $50 to $222, 111, 222, 333. Depending on what you pay me, you'll receive a crystal, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. If you pay 333, you'll get a 2 hour and a half read-in. The half hour will be at a later date, so you'll get a 2 hour read-in, and then you'll get a follow-up read-in of a half hour. If you pay $333 for 2 hours and a half, that's a real gem. And I'll give you a free crystal, as I am a rock hounder and the founder of Crystal Nations Collective. I am rock hounding black tourmalines, okay, with little mica and quartz. I have so many crystals in front of me. Which ones do I show you? I have quartz from Arkansas. I have a lot of obsidian as well, and it's not just right in front of me. But I will share that if you pay 111, 222, or 333, you'll get a free crystal. More than likely, a Payson diamond or obsidian, black tourmaline, or selenite. Those are the staple crystals that I love to give out. To really, truly, also, my energy is a huge activator, and I pray and will cleanse and activate your crystal. And so I just want to give you a sample of my actual oracle readings. And the sliding scale starts at 50, and we go from there. 111, 222, 333. Pay what you can. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. And I was going to write my name. You can find me on Facebook. Okay. And PM a message for a private reading. A free 30-minute Akashic Records reading in exchange for a testimony with my teacher. Emailed. Boink, boink. And then I'm on TikTok as Crystal Nations 777. And then I'm on Instagram as Crystal Nation. Boop, boop. And Slide and Scale. Oracle reading with cards starts at 50 till 111 till 222 till 333 with a free crystal. Pay what you can. Slide and Scale. So much fun, and I'm just going to read you your cards right now. We want to ask Great Creator of all that there is to bring in a divine connection for all those that are here now and those that will come in the future. We want to give thanks, and I couldn't see who was here, but I see that 2 people may have came on. Oh my goodness, I love you. Thank you for your support, love, and like my channel. I am truly one of the last. It feels like I'm part of like the 144, and I'm like one of the last angels that's at the back of the line that's like literally getting her shit together to come rise on up after a lifetime of suffering. So give me a little bit of love here. Thank you. And some support. I truly feel that my time is now to rise, as many of you will be rising with me. I know it. Oh, Bethany, it's you. I love you. Wait. I was thinking of you all day today. Oh, love you. So I'm truly bringing out a card. Alliance. Beth. So this to me is the dream catcher or the medicine shield, which represents the north, the east, the west, the south, the medicine wheel. All the feathers represents our freedom. Alliance, a medicine woman, a native woman, sitting there connected to the earth. I love her earring is like a white circle, which brings in the purity of God's light and love. I love that there may be a reflection of her own being, kind of reflecting in and out from the earth. I almost see this as an upside down buffalo, but it also is the color of fire and energy of the sun. And I'm going to read what it actually says in the card. Yeah. And so here we go. Alliance. Yes. Here we go. Earthly meaning here is make the most out of your network. Respond to pressure by reaching out to people of different levels of education, experience, age, views, or social standing. Be wary of pretension or selective equality. A challenge will bring us a reminder of the place that we hold within a system, a network, or a group, and of the scope of our influence. Healing can be found within this cohesive relationship or a close knit group. That's what I think, Bethany. Our group can heal as we come together. That's definitely something that has come to me throughout the last couple of years, is that if we work with smaller groups and get a little bit more tight knit, we can assist one another in healing one another. I believe when I went on the road from 2012 to 2020, it was like We all wanted to become the healer and be the healer, and many of us needed to heal. And now that we're taking these last couple of years to really know thyself, we're able to come together with a smaller group of people. And I really believe that we got to do this, because healing alone sucks and it's really difficult. And so the best way to heal anyway is when you're working with other people, because they are the reflection of your shadow and of your soul light. So it's really great. And this is the spiritual meaning. You are part of an amazing universe within and of creation. And therefore, with access to all of the colors of life's canvas. The mortal body, the immortal soul, live in many lives and endless forms throughout existence. You are in every breeze. You are in every feather. You are in every sunset. So you are the love and the underpins of it all. Bring this connection to consciousness. Diamond is the hardest mineral to on our planet. It is the hardest rock, so to speak. Graphite is one of the softest, and one is brilliant and represents perfection and love and adorns crowns. That's the diamond. And the other is dull and used in many everyday items, including pencils, brake linings, and batteries, and that's graphite. Diamond is so hard that it's added to cutting tools, while graphite is so slippery it is used as a lubricant. Diamonds refract light and can turn it into rainbows. Yay. Graphite absorbs light and is as black as night. Elementally, diamond and graphite are both pure carbon. They differ only in their structure. In graphite, the atoms bond in two-dimensional layers. In diamonds, the atoms bond in three-dimensional lattice to make connections on all sides, not just to their neighbors on the same plane. Valency refers to the atom's capacity for connection. Diamonds are durable because they use the valency of carbon to its full potential. Carbon's ability to bond in complex ways makes it central to cell structure and thus to all of life on Earth. It is your connections that make you strong. Connect to nature, the seasons, and your fellow passengers on the beautiful planet. Your ability to make diverse and involved bonds is life affirming. Aho and ahe. That is a great, great card. Wow. That is so cool. And then I just wanted to see if there was another message that wants to come through. Just want to ask Great Creator, is there another message that we have for the collective that is here and that is coming in the future? And we'll just give you one more round here. And love you, Bethany. Thank you. There it is. Brilliance. What a beautiful card. Brilliance is not only in color, but in shape, form, presence, and the ability to co-create with the divine. The message I get is to be able to be more nourishing to ourselves. As we're more nourishing, the purples and the pinks and the whites are really beautiful. Even the golden of the sun, it's gentle, it's compassionate, it's loving. And what it's doing for all of us right now at this time is giving us the ability to utilize that compassion for ourselves as we are co-creating the divine new systems for the people, by the people, because we are the people. Brilliance is something that I believe we are all coming into right now as a human species together. You see, one of the really important messages that I've been receiving this year and last year and actually the last 10 years, is we are dismantling. It was one of my most strongest messages for the last 10 years. We are dismantling hierarchy. Although there is a hierarchy on the planet that knows, that's more experienced, but at the same time, I believe it doesn't matter. I believe that there is no above, no below. We're all one. No matter if we have more experience or know how to do something more than others, what I believe is if we get out of each other's way and dismantle the hierarchy, then we're all coming in as the sacred one, and nobody's above anybody. And we're all helping one another. If you receive help from one person, know that you have the ability to help them as well. And that's what we need to tap into. And that to me is brilliance. So in this card, it is an underlying fear of success. And these are new ideas that will threaten the old ways. Positive change respects the past and the future. Put your thinking cap on and brainstorm. Step out of the conformity and the well-meaning advice. Creative energy is generated through conversation and play. So play is something that I missed out on receiving this card, but I was saying compassion and self-love and care was going to help us expand, but also I forgot the most important component, which is to play. In fact, Great Creator wants all of us to have more fun as we create the new earth. So let's really embrace this message. Creative energy is generated through conversation and play. So be prepared for loud applause and the accompanying criticisms, right? Experimentation recharges an interest, and a sudden realization brings dramatic change. Spiritual meaning of this card is an inspirational thought flows into your heart and something new is born. You are focused, inspired, and intuitively guided towards success. Much is accomplished with seemingly little effort because the force of love and the purpose is on your side. Yay. Your work and your energy shall touch the hearts of many. Yay. Embrace your mental brilliance as part of your divine light. The insight on this card is insight is lightning repeatedly striking the vapor and gases present on the surface of the young earth produced amino acids, the building blocks of protein and the fundamentals of life. Lightning literally provided the spark of all of life on earth, but we were afraid of it. And for good reason, too. Lightning is many times hotter than the surface of the sun. And despite this, people and animals can be struck by lightning and survive. But when lightning strikes, the sound in air heats and expands so quickly that it creates great claps of thunder. Most lightning occurs within the clouds, and when it does go around, it can strike the same place twice and often strikes the same place many times over. Ideas can feel dangerous. Not everything that we think up is destined for this time and place. So, just like the lightning, most ideas will never ground. But when they strike the right mixture of elements, this could be world changing. One idea strikes and it increases the chances that more will follow. So, generate brilliance. I want to give thanks to Great Creator, to Pachamama, to all of you, the few of you, give thanks. And I want to send my love and gratitude to uh, the north, the east, the west, the south, above, below, within. We're so grateful, Great Creator. We are so grateful. Aho and ahe.